Hi, so I am going to just do a quick energy read on today's winter solstice. So, I've got one card just to the side here because when I was putting the cards out and setting up the table, once I sat down, I could feel something under my foot, and it was this card, and I don't actually know how that card got onto the floor. So when we come to, I think I'll actually take that, I'll turn that over now so we can reveal it. The Poet, lovely. So we've got lots of birds on that card. And it looks almost like it's sort of holding the moon. It's holding this circle shape. And then we've got all this beautiful colour and warmth coming out at the top from this sort of dispersed darkness. So that seems to be like, you know, the birds are quite active at dawn. They first sort of awaken at dawn. And obviously we are in the solstice, we're on our darkest night, our longest night of darkness here in the Northern Hemisphere. So maybe this is sort of talking about that invitation. I feel this is a really visually appropriate card to be coming up, as it's quite a visual representation of the energies of the solstice. Like we're currently here, but you know, we're dawning towards inviting this light and this warmth back in of this sun. You know, the birds, they sleep during the night. They're very inactive at night, other than owls. And yeah, they awaken in the day. So welcoming in, embracing, see how it's hugging the moon. So I feel the message is we're currently embracing this darkness and find that magic, find that poetry, find your creativity in this darkness. You know, some of the most beautiful artwork and music and things are born out of this sort of darkness. You know, we plant a seed into the ground in the darkness and then it grows towards the light, I guess is sort of what I'm trying to say. And often it's in that void, that sort of time when it's dark and we can't see, that we've put the intention out there, we've had an idea, and we've sort of planted it in this darkness, but it won't fully start to bloom and blossom until we bring light to it. So a lot of goodness can come out of this darkness. We can really go within into our creativity, into our inspiration, into our intuition, to find that poetry, that magic, and then, you know, set to work, growing on it as the daylight hours slowly start to come in more for us. So that's quite a good introduction card that it gave us. But first, I'm going to take the, this is what I intended to do, take the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. It's quite a appropriate one, I feel. There's quite a lot of dark cards in it. So I feel it's got quite a nice wintry, solstice-y, embrace the darkness vibe. And this is like the little mini deck that I'm using here. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a shuffle and then see if anything pops out for us. Give me a card for the solstice, please. Well, I feel like it's this one. Ooh, so it came out in reverse. Let me just check my whole deck is not upside down. It is not. So we've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now we are in Mercury retrograde during this solstice, so that's quite interesting that that's come out in the reverse. Retrograde is to do with everything, revamp, remember, redo, reassign, reverse, yeah. And our card is in reverse. And again, we have a bird. This bird is one that is maybe awake at night, with it being an owl. And we've got lots of birds on this card as well. And birds often are symbolic of air and communication. And we've got an air sign card here as the sword suits. They represent air. Interesting. So give me another one, please. Oop. Wow, they're all coming out in reverse. I'm really going to check that deck. Okay, now that just seemed to be that the deck was upside down as I was shuffling. Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe there is no right way up. I mean, on this circle card, there's no, you could look at it from any turning perspective. There's no upside to a circle, really, is it? It's constantly spinning. And in Mercury retrograde, you know, things are kind of moving backwards in reverse. And we are in this end of a cycle, with it being the shortest day and the longest night. And as of this point, you know, like we'll get an extra minute or thereabouts of light a day. So we're kind of coming to a bit of a completion, the end of a cycle. Interestingly, we've got the Hermit here. So that's, again, going within, going into that, embracing that darkness within to find our light. See the candle on the top? That beautiful little tortoise card. So, you know, a day really to go within and maybe manifest, dream a bit, you know, go into our comfort, and, you know, embrace and be in that darkness, be in that shadow, explore that shadow side and break that down in order to come into the light. Again, we've got Judgment, which I feel is quite a end of a cycle sort of card. Again, it's air. We've got another bird. We've got all these birds. We've got these sort of birds emerging from the shadows up towards this one that is in the light. So again, that balance of light and dark, and the light, that light coming in for us in our darkness. And obviously Judgment is a card of balance. It represents quite like Libran energies. Sorry, it's Judgment, isn't it? Judgment, my God. I've read it as Justice and it's Judgment. Interesting. So maybe there is a energy here of the Justice card, and that sort of balancing our light and dark. But, you know, often through justice, we do, you know, go through a process of judgment. So maybe when we are going within, we need to sort of assess things and, you know, make good judgments of where we need, what we need to clear out in this darkness. We'll go into our dark side and find out what we need to clear out in that darkness to come to our light. And this Sword card again, the Queen of Swords, you know, she doesn't mess around really. She speaks very clearly, And so maybe we need to flip this card around. She's normally quite clear thinking, mental clarity, clear communication. And so maybe to become clear on our communication and to get our justice and our judgment, maybe we need to go within to sort of flip that ourselves back into clarity. Lovely. So I'm going to take a few from the light seers. I would like a little bit of clarification on this Judgment and this Queen of Swords, or Mother of Swords as it is called in this deck. Let's just have a look what's on the bottom out of curiosity. Oh. So on the bottom, we have the King of Wands. So I noticed in the lion and the torch most of all, and the salamander on the shirt. So quite a lot of like Mars energy. And again, the light of that torch. The King of Wands is often quite a sort of vibrant, showy type character. They're very more in their sort of ego. So possibly there is something there to do with overcoming something in our ego, having the strength to overcome something in our ego. And Mars energy is quite action, yang, often quite ego driven energy. Anyway, noted that that's there. I am also drawn to that light, and obviously we are inviting in the light. Okay, I feel like I've got 3 here. I feel like this one's sticking out. And I think I've got 2 more there, yeah. So tell me more about, Queen of Swords in reverse. We get another Swords card, we get the 6 of Swords. So 6 is we're starting to move. You know, our 5s are usually like a sort of like mid standoffish point, like things have come to a bit of a still, or there may be a bit of a disruption there. And then our 6, we begin to start moving again a little bit, but maybe it's sort of saying move slowly, don't move too fast, especially if we are in these sort of rough tides. I mean, that sea doesn't look very calm, it looks quite stormy, we've got a lot of rain. And, you know, she's not going to be going very fast when she's pulled by birds. But again, air sign, forward movement, but we're not quite there yet. Or move slowly out of this darkness, don't rush. The Magician, lovely. And then more on this Judgment, or as I call it, Justice card. Another 6. We get the 6 of Pentacles. Like the Magician, it's in the middle here. So the Magician is that as above, so below sort of energy. And he's got that infinity sign on his hood. You know, he's playing with the energies here. He's playing with looking down into the dark to draw that light up. And the way, I don't know if you can see that on the card, the way that energy is moving is in that infinity symbol. So the Magician, he has got sort of all the tools of the fire, the water, and he's sort of like the alchemist, mixing all these energies to master them, I suppose, and create that magic. And then underneath our judgment or justice card, we get the beginnings of this growth, of the beginning of this abundance. We're starting to grow on our pentacles. And again, notice we have this figure of 8 infinity symbol, cyclical motion. Nice earthy card there. So slowly moving towards, slowly building. Okay, I'm going to take one from here, from this King Crown's desk. So what are we moving towards in this solstice energy? What are we going to get? What is going to be our abundance? Maybe you'd like to ask a question here. What will be abundant for me? I'm drawn to this. It's sticking out the whole time while I'm shuffling. This is a very sort of cyclical card. Genesis. Gnosis. So gnosis means knowledge. And I've got this kind of like bird flying round and round is like what I'm sort of seeing. We've got so many birds. Birds, 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 bird. And this round and round, round and round, in a cycle, circles. But what I'm getting, yeah, it looks almost like a moon in there as well. And we've got this little bright spark, just, don't know if you can see that in the middle. Let me just move the lighting. In the centre there. Almost like a star in the centre. And it's got this sort of dotted lines in this pyramid type shapes. And we've got this darkness surrounding. So I feel like it's like delving deep into our inner knowledge in our shell, in the night. Yeah, our yin energy, our sort of, without gender stereotyping, our feminine energy, as we refer to it, as our yin energy. It's just energy though, rather than actual, referring to a man or a woman, because we have both energies within all of us. So delving into that deep inner knowing, with the star being there in the centre and these sort of dotted out pyramids, I'm getting this sort of universal ancient knowledge. You know, the pyramids were built supposedly in conjunction with like the stars and the solar systems, and the ancient Egyptians really worshipped, you know, the heavens, and were deeply connected. And they based a lot of their knowledge, they had a lot of knowledge about, you know, astronomy, astrology, and based a lot of their society and intelligence upon that. And so that's what I'm really getting for this, is to go into our deep inner knowing this solstice and really, really embrace that that shadow side, that hidden side of ourselves, nurture ourselves, go back into that sort of womb-like state, before we can, you know, go to like and find what we need in that dark, dissolve what that darkness is in there, and to move towards the light, and, you know, find the goodness, find the magic in that darkness, you know, sow our seeds in that darkness to come, then invite the light to move forward, and allow our hopes, our dreams, our intentions to grow, as the light begins to grow throughout this next part of the cycle. Let's just take a final card, one from our Everyday Witch Oracle. Sorry, that was my alarm going off. Let's have a quick shuffle. I'm feeling this one. Wow, look at that. Prosperity, it's prosperity and abundance. And look, that's where we're going to go, guys. She's got her cake, she's got her wine, she's, you know, enjoying that sun. She's sat in her sunspot in her garden that's full of life, full of abundance. Like she's got her feet off, she's relaxing, soaking in those rays. So this is where we want to end up in our next cycle. But before we do that, we need to embrace our darkness. We need to take care of our shadows. We need to go into our shadows. We need to nurture ourselves in those shadows as we nurture our pets, to come into our abundance, so that we can be sat in our beautiful little sunspot, just like our cats like to do, sit and, you know, just languish in their sunspot contentedly. And I'm getting quite Queen of Pentacle vibes and Empress vibes off of this card. They always appear sort of in gardens, surrounded by nature, just like kicking back. They've got everything they need, and they are just reaping the plentifulness. They've got their cake and they can eat it too. Lovely. As we got that knowledge card, I have just felt like bringing my Bhagavad Gita, for unknown reasons. I mean, it's got so much sun on it, and, you know, we got that knowledge card, and, you know, the Bhagavad Gita for certain cultures is the knowledge. So I'm going to give it, this is what I like to do sometimes, give my Gita a little rub, and then just flip. Okay, and I'm drawn to this bit. You have found yourself born into this transient and joyless world, Arjuna. So turn from it and take delight in me. Give all your love to me, adore me, the one divine. Make all your acts an offering, surrender to me. Make divinity your fondest ideal and highest goal. Set your heart and mind on me. As I here prescribe, you will indeed enter into my very being. So this is Krishna sort of talking to Arjuna on his like dark night of the soul journey, into understanding his connectivity with the universe and the connectivity between the universe and everything, and that the universe is in him and he is, you know, a reflection of the universe, and so on and such forth. And so I feel like the knowledge is about that understanding, that deeper knowledge that, you know, in loving ourselves, we are loving everyone else. We have to nurture and go within and trust that connection to the universe, and you know, find our inner love and worship ourselves, and you know, that the universe will see that as we are. The universe is within us, and we are within the universe. And, you know, through self-love, we are inviting that energy of the universal love. And then, you know, we can be here, and the universe will answer to us. And that is my solstice reading. Hope you enjoy. Namaste. Sorry, I've just come back on a minute because I realised, obviously when I was kind of getting this in my head mixed up as the justice card, like I was saying judgment card, but I was talking about it in part at a point like it was the justice card. But I don't know where he went in the deck, but I don't know if you remember, when I turned over asking, I wanted clarity on that, when I turned over and asked for clarity on it, and I looked at the bottom of the deck, if you like scroll back, you'll see, there was the King of Wands, and that's that Mars energy of that judgment, that action, like needing to take action on overcoming something, overcoming our dark side. So yeah, that was a direct message about that card, and me not to confuse it with the justice card, because I was getting that light and dark balance, and my mind sort of mixing it up with the air. But I think it does hold both elements, because I was getting a lot of air come through. But I just wanted to point out that Mars energy there, and him showing up there, because I did note the Mars energy, but I was not connecting it directly to this judgment card, which is also sort of talks about Mars energy and that overcoming, you know, the more egotistical potentially side of ourselves, and that action-driven part of ourselves. And that is all actually going now. Bye, guys.